In today's crypto update, a major Tesla investor now becomes bullish on Bitcoin. And this investor thinks that Bitcoin can hit 1 trillion in market cap within the next 10 years. Also, what's going on with DeFi? There's scams that's still going on left and right, and overall, a lot of DeFi coins are collapsing. Is it the end? And lastly, Atari finally makes an announcement about their upcoming IEO. So, let's get to it. First, let's talk about this major Tesla investor that is bullish on Bitcoin. Well, who are they exactly? They are ARK Investment Management LLC. They are a global asset manager specializing in investing in disruptive innovation. The firm is rooted with 40 years of experience, and they are a major Tesla bull. In fact, recently when Tesla had some weakness after the battery day because the market wasn't too thrilled about what was announced, ARK came out and said they're buying more, and that actually propped up Tesla shares. Now, what's controversial about ARK is they're very bullish on Tesla. So they made some outrageous claims that people just rolled their eyes at. They couldn't believe it. They believe ARK didn't know what they were talking about until this year when Tesla saw a 500% increase. Now people are paying attention. So this is what ARK predicted back in January of this year. This was before Tesla really went on a run, and this is before their stock split. And ARK was projecting that Tesla was going to hit at least $7,000 by 2024, at least expected value. The worst case scenario, 1,500. The bull case, the best case scenario, 15,000. Right? Remember, at this time, Tesla wasn't really moving, and people are just thinking ARK is crazy. Why would it go up to $7,000 within the next 4 years? Well, this is the reason why, because of autonomous scenarios. Basically, they're predicting that Teslas will become fully autonomous, and with the prospects of robo-taxi and so forth, it's going to carry them much higher. But keep in mind, Tesla has been going on a crazy run, and they have done a 5-to-1 stock split. So looking at this prediction, 7,000 divided by 5, roughly $1,400. And where is Tesla right now? Above 400. So to go from $400 to $1,400 within the next 4 years is no longer unreasonable. In fact, many are predicting that Tesla may hit $1,000 within the near future, maybe by year end. So now people are paying attention to really what ARK is looking at and these predictions, because only 10 months ago it seemed like this was outrageous, but today it seems like it's coming true. People are paying attention to ARK, and now that ARK is so bullish on Bitcoin, I think this helps. This helps bring more attention, awareness, and brings more investors into Bitcoin as well. So what did ARK say exactly about Bitcoin? Well, to quote, Bitcoin offers one of the most compelling risk-reward profiles among assets, as our analysts suggest it can scale from roughly $200 billion today to 1 to 5 trillion network capitalization during the next 5 to 10 years. Wow. So not even a trillion. They're predicting it could go anywhere from 1 to 5 trillion within the 5 to 10 years. So it's not even 10 years. That is very bullish. Our analysts suggest Bitcoin is early on its path to monetization with substantial appreciation potential. In our view, Bitcoin's 200 billion market capitalization or network value will scale more than an order of magnitude to the trillions during the next decade. As you can see, ARK is really bullish on Bitcoin, as so many others are now these days. And that is why Bitcoin is so strong. Even though we're seeing some weakness in the broader market, we're seeing weakness with altcoins, with DeFi, but Bitcoin is showing no weakness right now. It's hovering above $10,000. It's not moving anywhere, and I believe it's gearing up for its next leg up. So I believe this is very positive, very bullish for Bitcoin. Now, there is a trader also that believes that Bitcoin is poised for a late 2020 breakout Well, there's only 2 months left for the year, so we don't have to wait much longer if true. And what this trader is looking at is this reaccumulation phase during the last few 4-year cycles. So you can see here, when it was ready, when Bitcoin was about to break out of this wedge, it did, and then went up in a big way, right? The same thing happened back in 2016. It broke through and it started going up a big way. And this trader believes that that's where Bitcoin is right now. That we're in this wedge, and once we get out of it, we're going to break out in a big way. And that could be the end of 2020 or starting 2021. It's all lining up to things we have heard of before, right? The 4-year cycle and what happens after a halving event. But right now, besides all these things, we're having a lot of economic factors that's in play and a lot of people paying attention to Bitcoin because of those economic factors. And plus, you have big, well-known fund managers and investment managers like ARK that are all looking into Bitcoin. So, pretty positive. Now, I want to bring up this article, which is unfortunate, but there's a Ethereum user, or I should say a Uniswap user, that was just scammed out of $140,000. So what did they do? Well, they invested in a new yield farming project called Unicats. So unfortunately, this is happening, and people are just not learning. Maybe it's just the case of easy money in, easy money out, right? Maybe this user made $140,000 really easily through Uniswap or through something else, so they decided to risk it. The problem is they put their money into this new project called Unicats. So what happened is this user put their $140,000 into Unicats and then took it out. But Unicats created some kind of backdoor through their smart contract so that even if you withdraw, they still have control of your private keys. So what happened with this user, once the user withdrew, later on they found out that Unicats basically emptied out their wallets. I mean, this is really bad. This is as bad as it gets. It's not even an exit scam. Basically, this project was created just to steal private keys from users. So unfortunately, this is still happening in DeFi space. So you have to be very careful. Right now, people are looking at, anything that gets listed on Uniswap, thinking that it could go to the moon, that they're willing to take a risk. But you don't know, right? There's so many of these projects coming out. They're all based on anonymous, creators and users, and no one knows what the hell's going on. So you got to be careful. And unfortunately, this is not a good look for DeFi overall. DeFi projects are really taking a dump. So I'm sorting this CMC list based on DeFi only. Just anything that's associated with DeFi, at least according to CMC. So if you look at something like Chainlink, definitely has been doing well or better, but the last 7 days down 11%. Chainlink is still holding below $10. But you look at some of these other ones besides stable coins, right? Like Wrap, Bitcoin, DAI, they're more stable coins, Maker, stable coins, so they're not really moving. But you look at someone like Aave, which is a lending company, they're actually doing pretty good. So lending company within DeFi space seems to be doing good, but look at all these other ones that's involved with yield farming. Yearn Finance down 32%, Synthetic down 17%, UMA down 30%, Uniswap down 25%. So I was asking this question at the beginning of the video, is the DeFi market done? No. I do believe that there's many projects in DeFi, and I've mentioned this many times, there's many projects in DeFi that is doing well. But it does seem like anyone that's involved with yield farming is now getting hurt. It could be because traders are moving from one project to another, or they're simply dumping, like in the case of Uniswap, people got a whole bunch of UNI and maybe they're just dumping that at this point. So DeFi is still in its early stages, right? And I refer to the IEO stage in 2017. I know it's different, and people say that it isn't the same. I know that, I realize that. But if you look at the enthusiasm, the pumps, right, the risk level that people are willing to take, it's kind of the same, because with the IEO craze, people didn't know about any of these projects and just put their money in because they thought it was going to go to the moon. It's kind of the same doing DeFi right now. I think DeFi is here to stay. There's a lot of shady things going on, and you have to be careful and avoid it. Last, I want to talk about Atari. They have announced that they're doing an IEO specifically with Bitcoin.com. So this is actually kind of interesting. Atari, as we know, they're a console maker where they used to be. They're involved with games now. They want to come out with another console and they want to do something different. They want to have their own token, and I'm going to go through this and explain why, but they also want to have everything based on the blockchain, which is very, very interesting. So if you move forward, basically, Atari announced the IEO collaboration with Bitcoin.com exchange via its multi-asset trading platform. The public sale will start in November, right? And the Atari token will be listed on Bitcoin.com upon completion of the IEO. It's going to be called Atari Chain. And Atari wants to do a couple things. Number one, safety priority. So everything, all the transactions stored on a ledger, good use for blockchain, easy integration, right? They want to make sure that the Atari token could be easily integrated into any upcoming Atari games. This is very, very promising. Also, liquidity. Atari plans to list ATRIs on many platforms as possible. Look at this. Skills matter. Atari is working on innovation games in which you could stake tokens against other players. This makes a competitive, play a lot more interesting. Imagine playing, 2K or Fortnite or whatever, and you could bet on each other, right? Or bet on yourself with actually a token that's worth something. Quite interesting. And lastly, they're looking at Atari Casino. Now this is, I don't know that's going to get approved or not, but they're saying that is something they're looking at because obviously gambling is a big thing. Sports betting is a big thing. Maybe they'll look into that. So I just want to bring this up because I think Atari is definitely a big name. They're trying something different. And it's interesting that they're going to be working exclusively with Bitcoin.com. That's it for today's update. What do you guys think? Make sure you smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for my next video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.